Hello, everyone. My name is Tina Banks, and I am your host today on Burrow's Best Podcast. And today I have the pleasure of speaking to Greg and Trish Carter, the owners here of Charlie's Funky Junk Shop. Thank you for meeting with me today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We appreciate you coming down.
Most definitely. Thank you for having me. So tell us a little bit about what was your initial inspiration behind starting this vintage shop.
Well, we opened our doors in 2017 and literally started just selling kind of stuff we no longer needed at our house.
Mm-hmm.
And then our friend joined in and said, you know what, I've got a lot of clothes and appliances and extra furniture as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we had yard sales for a couple months. And it kind of sparked something in my brain because I really enjoyed it because I grew up in the antique business. My parents, I grew up in New York and New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1967, my dad quit his job as a crane operator in New York City. It was a whole, hippie kind of thing, getting rid of the rat race, or leaving the rat race, and bought a cow barn in upstate New York.
Really?
Which was huge.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided to make it into an antique shop. It was on a tourist trail going through the Adirondack Mountains. And I was right alongside with him, loading in the car, and I've got great pictures of me as a kid. And he had an old Dodge or an Oldsmobile, I can't remember which car it was.
Mm-hmm.
And he would just pack the thing and just keep wrapping rope around it and drive it home,
Wow.
And I, in retrospect, my sisters and I wonder what was why an antique shop?
Mm-hmm.
Why did he think, to do that? But I know that's where the initial bug came into me. But and I've always collected, depression glass and then milk glass as a child, and then my mom collected different figurines and things, and my father was always a collector of stuff. And then I married a collector.
Yes,
Perfect.
Her father loved me from the get-go when I talked about all my collections.
I bet.
The first dinner, he was
It's
like,
a natural connection
So
there.
it was kind of like, you know what, maybe I'll do that on the side, and just open on weekends. So we started just opening on weekends, and people would come in and they'd be like, well, my mother passed, or, we've got all this stuff in the barn that we really need to get rid of. And I said, okay, we'll buy it from you. So we would start buying things from people. So it wasn't just our stuff.
Right.
And then, time passed and we started getting better things.
Mm-hmm.
And then my daughter came into the business, and I said, let's make it an official, antique junk shop, Charlie's Funky Junk Shop. And we then started, buying houses outright.
Wow.
Going to auctions. Then we've met these women who are pickers for us that travel all throughout the Southeast, and they'll come back once a month with a trailer full. So we get things from all over the place. And it's just, we've got regular customers now that come weekly. I always tell people, don't worry about coming in weekly because there's always something new spilling out from the back of the store or from, our other storage. So,
Wow.
yeah. And,
or just moving around so you can see it.
Yeah.
right, because we're packed. We're packed.
Yes.
So
We have a lot of good things in here, though.
we try to keep a good mix of things. And it's not, purely an antique store by any means.
Right,
I always
no.
say that Heirloom on South Main is classy. The classy store, and we're the funky store. When customers, because they can walk from one to the other real
Right.
quick, and that's, I don't know, that's kind of what makes it fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we were both art teachers in our past lives, I should say. I just retired from Georgia Southern after 30 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So we like, things that are a little bit different or a little extra colorful, or really like, an old sewing machine. The aesthetic beauty of it is just, something that just touches our soul.
And I have to say, we're blessed to have this building because it actually was my art studio. So we had the building, and then it built, that's what we had the space to use, and then encourage us to do some other things.
So when did it go from the art studio to the vintage shop?
About 2016, 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he bought the studio in 2003, and they refinished the whole thing, chipped away the plaster to expose the original bricks. It's a 1900 building, original tin ceilings. But one of our problems, I guess, now in 2021 is that we've outgrown the space. So we have recently bought next door the Morris building where the billiards and the barbershop is, and then upstairs was barbecue. So we're going to move Charlie's over there. Big Head will stay with us. And then upstairs, we're not sure what we're going to do with that yet, but it can be a place to process all of this.
That's true.
A lot of work involved.
It is.
You know, we bring things in, they're usually dusty, dirty. We have to clean them. We clean things up, and we don't really refinish furniture.
I paint a few things, but I'm slow. So she doesn't.
Well, people want to kind of paint their own things too, or I don't really like painted furniture. It's not. I like the original, the history of the pieces.
Yeah, that's nice.
But no, it's time to double our space.
Yeah.
So
will you keep this
we'll keep this because I have another business in mind.
Okay.
That we're debating over now.
Okay.
You know, again, we're only 58, so we've got a long way to go.
You're still very young.
So I'm looking to make this into a studio that we can work in, but also open it up to people to make things like a Pinterest style studio.
That would be incredible.
Yeah. We're printmakers, so we could have a T-shirt screening place for people to come in and do that, or we have a press in the back and whatnot, and then just other, kind of projects.
Yeah.
So
that's much needed.
Yeah.
So I'm glad.
So we're getting our whole team that supports us, because we certainly couldn't do this alone.
It's a lot. It entails a lot. Some people, when you first walk in, you're just like, oh, it's just a store. But then you have several different components to it, like you have an eBay component.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because we get so much, because we buy in quantity, usually, we'll buy everything. We don't just pick certain things. So if we're buying a house out, so we'll get different levels of items,
right?
And we'll go through them. And I always have my mother in my mind teaching me different marks on silver and marks on china and whatnot. But some things that are either really unique and peculiar, like we actually just you're sending out eBay today. We have military helmets from the Korean War.
Wow.
That we got that are from their tank helmets. Well, that can sit here in the shop for years, because how many people in this area are coming in to look for that?
Right.
And I have to mention the record we sold for $140, titled "Walking My Cat Named Dog," from the 1960s, which was some folk cult thing. And I mean, we bought in a big lot, and turns out everybody has to have it.
Wow. Yeah. Who would have thought that?
And it's got a funny name. I listened to it on Spotify. It wasn't that great, but
So we sell those things on eBay, or we'll get signed really good ceramic ware. I'm just thinking of things that we have going out this week, or our jewelry. We buy bulk jewelry from folks. So if it's a name brand, we'll do that, and that helps. Again, we need to pay the bills and whatnot.
Exactly.
And then we have another component on the other end of like bulk things. I keep the cream for the shop. I want the shop to always look really good,
and it does.
We have the best time setting things up. We really do. We have fun. We laugh. We laugh so hard in here. But then we'll do bulk auctions. We're going to do once a month on a company called Buy or Bid on It. So we'll have like 400 lots you can buy online, and then you come pick up from the shop. I
didn't even know there was such a thing.
The pandemic brought out some good things, whether we there's a few good things we can talk about with it, but it was how to really readdress your business.
Yes.
And, that's what we're also working on, is doing online. So our website is very minimal and hasn't been updated lately because we don't need it or haven't thought of it.
Right.
because we're so busy doing stuff. But I'd like to have a buy it now section on that as well. You know, so we've got one of our the woman who does eBay for us, Sarah, is an art history major, and she's perfect at it. She does all the research, and she, you know, that's what she's been trained to do, and boom, boom, boom. So we've got, you know, that's one important aspect of our business.
It really is.
It also gives us, I don't want to say notoriety, but people from around the country or around the world are now looking at our little website and our little shop in Statesboro.
Yeah, it's not just contained to just little Statesboro, Georgia. It's worldwide.
Yeah.
Worldwide. Yeah. Okay, so how did we get to this name, Charlie? Charlie's.
My dad, his name is Charlie.
Okay.
So when he, you know, and that leap of faith to say, okay, I'm leaving my good construction job, moving my family upstate New York, far away, and start buying this farm and buying this thing. And, you know, we were not a well-to-do family at all. I don't know how he paid for it. You know, I was 4 or 5 when that happened. But that risk-taking is something that he taught me. And I've always, you know, I'm a cliff diver. You're a cliff diver.
You are too.
But he's more. He gently
I move
gets
up to the cliff slowly.
Yeah. But that's how taking risks is how things happen.
It really is.
It really is.
I have to say, Charlie was an incredibly big man. I mean, he was an amazing father-in-law. Just an amazing person. And you know, as a matter of fact, many times people stop in and they ask about it. We have pictures of him.
Okay.
We point to him, and I tell them stories because he was a special guy.
He always wore his crane. He always wore overalls, his crane operator overalls, and his crane hat. You know, still in the antique store.
Really?
It was
Wow.
just part of who he was. And but you know, never met a stranger. Always go in and shake hands, and just a real people person. But could sit and just, you know, admire an antique or some item just for how well it was made, and why don't they make things like this anymore, and, you know, that love of the object, I guess I also got from him.
That's so true, because they don't make, I hear my, you know, grandparents used to say, like, they don't make things like they used to.
Oh, it's
you know,
because we buy, you know, everyday items, and I'm going like, they just don't make pans like this anymore.
Well, our sewing machines. We bought our daughter a sewing machine, a new one, and decent brand. I don't know whether it was a Singer or Kenmore. I guess doesn't make sewing machines anymore. Anyway, it broke, and I brought it to the sewing repair place, and he was like, buy an old machine and bring it to me, and I will fix it, because all the parts inside are metal and well made. So literally, we have, you know, this old Singer push pedal sewing machine. People buy them and use them because they're so well made. I
believe that.
There's also things Trish loves to buy, and sewing machines are one of them.
I do. I love sewing machines.
Chairs, sewing machines,
mirrors,
ramekins,
and lamps. And that's all. No. The biggest problem with this business is falling in love with the object. And we take things home. I take things home all the time. And then finally, Olivia, our daughter, said, Mom, please stop taking the tags off the items, because then you bring it back in a month. And because I'll find something else that I'm even more in love with.
And bring it back to sell it.
So now we have items at our home with tags on them, hanging on them. And it's really kind of funny. People are like, does that have a price tag still on it? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure about it yet.
I can only imagine that you do get attached to things like this. So what are some of the hottest selling items that come through?
Some of the classics, we get all sorts of customers. So like we have an interior design group of customers that'll come in, and they like really big vases, bright colored objects, the blue and white china, lamps, occasional chairs, small tables. And
bars.
The younger folks will come in, new homeowners, and they're, you know, young adults coming, getting ready to entertain. And they get their tea cart and lots of vintage barware, and, you know, the nice, beautiful old glasses and whatnot. And they don't care if it's a set of 8. They just want to have, you know, nice or older things. and ashtrays,
Yeah.
you know. And then jewelry. We have we buy jewelry in bulk. We try to keep all our jewelry between $3 and $5.
Not bad at all.
No.
Not
And
bad.
it's all in good shape and whatnot. So people will come in and just have an armful of jewelry that they bring to the counter, and things like that. Honestly, as a business model, if you will. Those, and then we buy pillows from a wholesale distributor that we sell for $5.
Okay.
So they kind of pay our utilities.
Yep.
It sounds silly, but it's part of the business model, because they're lower price things. I also like to have things in here that are a variety of prices, so everybody can buy something. It's not you just don't walk into a store that everything's really out of my price range.
Yeah, because some antique stores, not saying that this is antique, but it's so expensive that you already know you can't afford it.
Yeah. Well, or that you have to commit to something like that. Now we do, we have some good furniture pieces, but it's not totally what we're known for. We also sell a lot of vintage clothing to, again, younger folks.
Like this.
Yep. That's a nice old piece.
That was hand sewn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we've got different themes in here. I've got rustic.
Yeah.
Kind of more the man cave or the lake house look, and then a vintage kitchen, Pyrex. People love Pyrex. It flies out of here.
Yeah.
And then the more, I've got the elegant, kind of the crystal and cut glass, Americana with the blue, red, white, and blue. Things are very color coded in here. It's kind of how I make my artwork. I'm a mixed media artist, so Greg comes in sometimes and he's like, now you're making your artwork in here like it's 3D, like you can walk into a piece.
Like I noticed when we walked back to this area, like I said, well, this is like the bright colored area, and oranges, and yellows.
Oranges, the avocado green.
Yeah.
That lovely 70s kitchen color.
The kitchen. Yeah,
and
the gold.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah. But we have fun doing the windows too. We try to change them out, every couple weeks. And when I was a child, I remember, and I going to New York, and we'd walk through the streets, and I always wanted to be a window dresser, as they were called. Now I'm sure there's called something else. But the thing that resonates in me is that this shop kind of represents that wonderful thing about life, that one thing always leads to another, where when you tie all those threads together for who you are and where you've been and what you've thought about, it all kind of, it's funny how it came into this. But
could you have ever imagined that?
No, never. Why would I want to do something my parents had done? No way, Jose, not doing that. But no, I can't wait to come to work. Again, we work hard, and sometimes we holler at each other. Usually when we're moving something heavy. But
I'm afraid I have a 58-year-old back. I really wish I had a 30-year-old back.
Well, we're looking to hire some young folks.
That's what you do.
Some things.
Get some younger backs in here to do that part.
Yeah. But no, and it's also just very rewarding and amazing. We reopened because we had family who were quite ill from COVID, and we couldn't take the risk. So we shut down for a solid year, and we reopened. We had the store. It was clean, and it was packed, and it was ready to go. And man, we were cleaned out. We had areas completely empty.
I bet. So, people have been waiting.
Yeah. People were ready.
Yes.
We're ready to get back to normal.
That's right.
Yep.
So what advice can you give someone that may be looking to start a business like this?
I think that I probably did everything wrong that you should never do when you open a business.
That's how we learn, though.
We financed it all ourselves. I took out money on credit cards to pay for when I'd buy out from people in the beginning. Fortunately, we owned this building. That's a major thing, so we don't have to deal with rent. But there's no reason. We started slow, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do. They'll stop their last job and for 4 months get a place ready and open up. I don't know how you survive that. I also, had my other income coming in while I was doing it.
To build it up. Yeah, that was smart.
But that said, I played it safe, kind of, but also have to be a risk taker.
Yeah.
When I think the first house we bought that took us truckload after truckload, and people just constantly, all of our friends help us for free in the early days.
Then we had to rent a van.
Right,
now we have
to
a
move
nice
things.
trailer.
I was like, okay, I've just bought a house out. And it was like, what? Are you kidding?
Wow.
But you got to do that.
When the opportunity is there, you have to go for it.
Yeah. Because that's when you get the good stuff.
Yeah.
Too. I don't know. I just, you learn things. And again, I was not a business person, so I've learned that the J months, January, June, July, are slow. So plan for it accordingly.
Yeah.
I have met the most wonderful people downtown here, the merchants.
Yes.
Who have helped me, and I've learned things from them, and because I'm listening to their strategies and whatnot. And our best sales times are when we work, like the West Main merchants.
Yes.
We will work together and have, a food truck come in, and it's, sidewalk sale day down on West Main, come on down, and then we're all advertising, and it's the place to be. That's a nice thing, and that gives all of us kind of a community.
Exactly.
So. Yeah. I'm hoping we can do that more throughout downtown.
I'm pretty sure it's going to come back, especially over the summer.
I think so, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Well, just the eagerness to come in here since we've opened, it's got to happen.
Yes.
Eager is the key word there.
That's it. So as we get ready to wrap up, can you let us know what your favorite business in the borough is?
That is got to be the hardest question, because now I'm also very aware. I shop small.
Yeah,
because
it's
I know
important.
What these and I know that's where you get the cool, unique things.
That's right.
Now I think though we would say we're a little biased right now because we just had a grandchild.
Oh,
so
congratulations!
Our favorite store right now is right up the street, Miracles.
Wonderful.
Our granddaughter Ellie is turning 1, and I'm going to march down there and get some really awesome, beautiful
She does
clothing.
Have very nice clothing.
Very nice.
So Rosie, the shout out goes to you from Miracles Boutique. Okay. So where can we find you on social media platforms?
We are on Facebook and Instagram as Charlie's Funky Junk. And we are located at 33 West Main, right on the corner of Walnut and West Main.
Okay.
And we are open Wednesday through Saturday. And by appointment. I've got still some folks who like to come in and will shop on their own, and we're happy to do that and make arrangements and avoid the crowds, I should say.
So is it appointment only?
If you want to shop by yourself.
Okay.
I've got some folks who just kind of prefer that.
Because early in the week we're closed, but we're here working anyway most of the time.
Yeah. Or if you work until 6 and you want to come in later or something like that.
Okay.
We were open more. We were open on Sundays when the restaurants were having brunch. We'd be open for those crowds, and again, honestly, we really are. We're usually here. Because as soon as we sell all this stuff, there's more coming out. We got to price it and get it ready and stage it, which takes
it does. Yeah.
Fun time. Yeah.
I should mention another attraction, our bird wall. We have the beautiful birds on the outside, and every week there's people out there having their pictures taken. And during graduation and prom, it's very busy.
Yes. It's very nice.
Sign Charlie's there, but then we mess up their picture. So
and we are dog lovers, so we always bring Lewis and Clark, our dogs, with us.
Yes. Did you guys see Lewis and Clark? They were the stars of the show today. The true stars.
And people come in to see them, and we're not hurt that they're not here for our good junk.
And they get mad
and
at
that's
us
fine.
if they don't come. Sometimes, we just say, "Oh, stay home," and then, there's some sad people.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because I was greeted this morning with a very special gift, and I was so grateful.
Anything else?
I think we covered it all,
Okay.
unless you want anyone to know something that we didn't discuss.
No, we also, again, we buy outright from people. So if you've got one item or a box of goodies to sell or household, just, give us a call.
Yep, give a call and then they will contact you back. So thanks for speaking with us today. We really enjoyed hearing your story and finding out more about your business.
Appreciate it very much. It was delightful
Okay.
and delightful to meet both of you.
Thank you.